Okay, gameplay. Oops. I just opened up the image. I'm surprised that even links anywhere. The meta, the Perk meta. I'm very excited. I came from playing Dota. I mean, it's on my chair. Actually, you can't see it. What? Dota. So, like, huge patch notes that change fucking everything are like drugs to me. So they want to shake up the meta. I think that's cool. Take a look at why the perks are used so heavily. Some are popular because of their strength. Others are popular because they reduce the likelihood of an unfun situation. That's decisive strike right there. And borrowed time. I mean, those are both also strong, but like, those are like the anti-tunnel perks. Sector Y and Solar. I didn't realize that those have the same track, I feel like. Oh wait, the generator changes. This is the exciting part for me. I don't know. This is like why so many perks are popular. Yeah, this is what this slowdown perks are popular. Corrupt Intervention, Pop Goes the Weasel, Scourge Hook. Yeah, there's a lot of lore here. Everyone get your books out. Get your reading glasses on. Scourge Hook, Pain Resonance, Hex Ruin. So, yeah, hugely popular perks. All good, but also because generators just go by so fast. Many players feel like generators are powered too quickly without these perks. Need to look at generators before making perk changes. Slowdown perks should be an option, but not the only option. Time it takes to power a generator is 90 seconds up from 80, so 10 seconds more. That's a pretty hefty amount. Obviously that can vary a lot by like player amount and perks and stuff. It's a nice increase. It's like over a 10% increase. Not bad. I think it's been pretty agreed upon that generators go too fast by people who are more experienced with this game than me. I mean, the fact that these perks are so popular, obviously, yeah. I assume these perks are all kind of toned down to account for this too, which is good. That's good. Like, it lets you... maybe I should finish reading this first. Kicking a generator now instantly removes 2.5% of the maximum progress. This is what I was hoping for. Makes kicking generators more meaningful, even if a survivor stops it from regressing shortly after. They have to decide whether they should tap a generator, as this allows the killer to kick it again and knock it off even more progress. These two changes hope to reduce the reliance on passive slowdown mechanics and promote increased interaction. I think these are both really good changes. Kicking generators is a very like unintuitive thing, or counterintuitive thing, because, you know, if you start playing the game, I'll see you later. If you start playing the game, you think, okay, I'm gonna kick this generator. That's good, but it only makes it start going backwards in progress. It doesn't actually do direct damage, and even like the speed that it regresses at is not that much. I don't know exactly what it is, but it's kind of slow. I feel like I should open up the wiki or something on a separate tab, but we can save that for when I need it more. So I think this makes more sense. This is why people took Pop Goes the Weasel and like Scourge Hook and Pain Resonance and stuff. Like, instantly getting rid of progress is really big. And it also, like it says here, like, people could just get on it for like half a second while they're running away from the killer. Not even half a second. Just to stop it from regressing. And also, that's like part of why Ruin is so popular. So like, this is really good. I think that's a big change, and it lets you do a lot with perks too. So they'll probably rebalance a lot of that stuff. Pop Goes the Weasels. Maybe just going to be the same, but minus this 2.5%. That's kind of what I predict. I guess they could take off a little bit more because this is every kick now. I don't know. Average kill rates are a little lower than we'd like. I'm surprised that the average kill rates are lower than they'd like. Maybe they're factoring in skill level. Because I feel like at lower skill levels, which is probably where a big chunk of the player base is, you would have high kill rates, but they might just be taking into account skill levels and stuff. I don't know. But yeah, like, it is kind of also silly. It feels weird that like survivors feel like they have a lot of power, and like maybe not power, but killers feel like they maybe have less than they should. So I'm interested in this, and I'm also a killer. I'm a killer man. I've got my Halloween t-shirt on. I don't know. Like, I play killer mostly. That's what I'm more interested in. I do play survivor, but so I'm excited for this. Reduce the time it takes to break walls and pallets by 10%. 2.34 seconds from 2.6. Generators can also be kicked 10% faster. That's another 0.2 seconds down. I mean, those things you need to do. In fact, kicking generators on top of it being worthwhile is now faster. That's pretty cool. It's obviously very nice for the perks that you have to kick generators to activate too. I think this is really good. Reduce the cooldown for successful basic attacks by 10%. 2.7 from 3 seconds, and reduce the duration of the survivor's speed boost by 10%. We had 2 whole seconds of speed boost. Holy cow. Now 1.8. So basically, you hit someone, you're going to be able to start catching up to them a lot faster. Or, well, 0.3 seconds faster. But that's like, that's meaningful when you're already faster than them by default. So they get their almost 2-second speed boost, you get slowed. But then you're going to start catching up to them earlier, which is big. This would also be kind of nice for like when you're carrying someone and people are trying to block you. I'm sure some people are going to get down because of that. And because they just expect to have more time to get people to wiggle out. Bloodlust increases in power quicker than before. In most cases, Bloodlust does not activate. There are rare cases where it can be necessary. Long build-up often leaves the killer in a bad spot. You're adjusting Bloodlust tiers to activate after 15, 25, and 35 seconds. Rather than 15, 30, and 45. So, doesn't matter for the first level, which basically means that this doesn't matter for most chases, but the really annoying ones are going to kind of have a much shorter cap on how long they can be. Unless you can lose them and drop the Bloodlust. That's 10 seconds, that's pretty meaningful. I mean, it's still a lot longer than you want to spend in a chase, but with generators being slower overall, should help. And also, you're just faster, like, you can just catch up faster to begin with because of these things. So that's pretty cool. This is like a big sweeping change. Like, it seems small, but like this is a lot to like do for everyone. So, you know, that's interesting. They explicitly name camping and tunneling. Ooh. Explicitly name the second chance perks. Borrow time, decisive strike, dead hard. Now, there's a reason these are so popular. Because you can totally just tunnel someone out if you want sometimes. Help prevent unfun situations, namely being camped or tunneled. Repeatedly being targeted after being hurt, yeah. Should be nice to have, not essential. See, that's the problem. It's like no one really wants to have these, but like a lot of people feel like they need them. And then the other problem is that when you're on the other side, you have to expect that they have these things even if they don't. And that's another like threat, basically. Why is my like frame rate just like dropping? I don't even know. So weird. Anyway, whatever. That is weird. I don't know. Window capture, maybe. So here we go. Borrowed time. Yeah, everyone kind of was. I think this has been discussed for a while. Everyone gets 5 second. Wait, 5 second endurance. And 7% haste. So everyone basically gets. I don't know if this is the same as borrowed time. The duration is definitely shorter. The speed. Oh wait, you don't actually get speed by default from borrowed time. Interesting. So everyone who gets unhooked is basically going to be able to run away for 5 seconds. That's kind of long. I feel like this is going to make you know, getting hooked next to the exit gates when they're open kind of an annoying thing. You're like less able. I guess you weren't able to defend it if they had borrowed time very well either anyway. So against someone with borrowed time, it's not that different really. These effects will be cancelled. Perform a conspicuous action. Conspicuous? That's funny. I don't know, it's just a funny term. So basically, I think this is the same stuff that gets rid of Decisive Strike, generally. Like, anything that isn't booking it is gonna get rid of this effect. So I think that's pretty cool. Does it really do anything about Decisive Strike? Not really. That's still going to be... I guess they're changing it in some way, but Decisive Strike is still a thing? Which is okay. But they also... we'll see what they do. Because it is here. Shaking up the meta. Many of you have grown attached. This is like, I feel like this is code for cry about it. I don't know. Some games don't have this happen very often. I'm used to Dota 2 and everything gets blown up all the time. So like, I'm okay with this, you know. Just like because of automatic white balance or something. I feel like webcam stuff can fuck with the frame rate a lot. I don't know. So lots of stuff's getting changed. What are the meta perks? BBQ, Hat Ruin, Pop Goes the Weasel, Corrupt, Intervention, Tinker, No One Escapes Death, Pain Res, for Survivors, Dead Hard, Borrow Time, all the second chance stuff, Iron Will, Self Care, and Spine Chill. I hope Spine Chill is so rude to stealth killers. Graph showing the 10 most frequently used perks. This is not like entirely on stream, but whatever, it's fine. I guess I can just like zoom it out a bit. Dead Hard is like way the hell up there. That's incredible. Borrowed Time is 50%. Wait. Oh yeah, this is like by MMR. But I mean like, really, if it's like high percentage up here, that means it's good because these people know it's good. Or it's good against good killers or something like that. So like, this is where you really want to pay attention. Just like, you know, even up here, it's all the same trend, roughly. I guess this doesn't show, right? I can set this to capture the mouse, I think. Capture cursor, here we go. Right? Yeah, there we go. So like around here is where it's like pretty meaningful. This is like basically exhaustion perks. Kindred is basically visibility. You got Circle of Healing, no surprise there. It's only at 15%, but I guess you would expect to see it at 25%, right? Because that's like 1 per team. 25% is basically every game has it. Hello, Echo. There's updates for Dead by Daylight, basically. They're changing a lot of balancing stuff, so I'm looking at that. Self-care, that's really popular. And you know, everyone says it's like bad, but it's still pretty popular at high MMR. It's also interesting to see what goes down at higher skill, like Spine Chill. This is Killers. At low MMR, people just have this, like, they have no perk. This is no perk equipped. That's funny. Barbecue is huge because people just want blood points, and it's still good information. Ruin is massive. I don't know what that's pain resonance, I think. All the like slowdown things. Nurse is calling. Yeah, makes sense. Actually, that one goes down too. Iron Grasp, really? I guess it just gets used a lot at lower levels. That one goes down a ton. Sloppy Butcher, I feel like Sloppy Butcher should be like higher now too. Alright, let's get to the actual changes. Everyone knows what this perk does.
All problems solved.
If only that voice line was in Dead by Daylight. That's a Pinhead voice line, by the way. If anyone's wondering what the heck that was. He says it in one of the later Hellraiser movies. So they're removing the blood point bonus. This change may seem shocking. Please keep in mind that this update reduces the grind by 75%, and there's the matchmaking bonuses. I'm sure a lot of people are going to be mad about that. I think it's pretty fair. I don't think perks, unless they have some sort of like fun component or like downside, should really be about blood points anyway. If they were going to do anything about this, I think it's fine. Like, you're going to be spending, you are going to be spending a lot less on blood points. It's probably okay. I wouldn't have minded like a small bonus based on like what you do with barbecue, because I think it's a good incentive to hook people. I wonder if this is going to be not very good anymore. The information is still pretty good, but I mean, it's fine though. Like, it's valuable to be like, okay, well, I don't need this for points. I can take whatever information perk or a thing I want. Maybe it'll feel weak, but we'll see. Ruin. So, not looking to change the aspects of passively regressing. Reducing the regression speed to 100% from 200. We only care about the 3rd level because everyone's going to have their perks maxed out at some point anyway. It's not like, you know, something where you level them up mid-game. Reduce its power without destroying its primary appeal. After a survivor is killed, it will automatically deactivate. So first, one thing to note is that, like, because every kick does something, every kick is 2.5%, this is slightly less appealing just by default, I guess. Of course, you'll be able to do that after Hex gets destroyed or you kill someone, so it's still there. The regression is probably fine. It was a lot of regression. It'll be a little bit more workable to not destroy the hex. And also you can like the other interesting thing is it's also generators take longer anyway. So I think it's fine. It's probably fine. We'll see. A lot of these changes might need to be readjusted later. That's just what happens when you make a big balance patch. After a survivor is killed, it deactivates. Now that's interesting. I don't think you would often be incentivized to not kill someone, but it's sort of a tunneling disincentive, and maybe there's a couple of situations where you think, okay, I want to spread my hooks out a bit more so I can keep Ruin going for longer, but really killing someone is slow down anyway, so I don't know how much it's actually going to factor into your decision making, but I guess it lets people who lose a teammate pretty early, have a better comeback potential. Now this is, I assume they're just removing some percentage. I haven't read any of this stuff, by the way. I read some of the other stuff earlier, a little bit. Removes, so kicking generator already has some percentage. This removes 20% down from 25 of current progress. So it will not delete progress from like something that has only been like 20% fixed. It's still meaningful. You're still gonna get 2.5 like overall progress removed anyway on top of this. I think this is fun. This is good. It makes sense with what you're doing to kicking generators in general. It's probably a pretty fair amount. And also, again, generators take longer to begin with. So this is pretty strong. Extend deeper into the map before repairing a generator. Yeah, because it blocks 3 generators that are really far from the killer. Deactivate when a survivor enters the dying state. Now that's cool. I think that's pretty fair. Like if you can get someone downed, I think it's fair to turn this thing off. Like you've already gotten your slowdown. Right? And also this perk was just like really strong anyway. And generate, again, like a lot of this stuff, like generators take longer, so they can nerf these more than they normally could. Well, it doesn't block progress for the killer at all. Well, I mean, yeah, it doesn't block progress for the killer. The killer gets more time to kill people. I think this becomes less valuable on like Hillbilly or Ghostface. Anyone who can like down a survivor really quickly maybe doesn't want corrupt intervention as much anymore. So that's a difference. Tinkerer, 70%, you got undetectable and you get a notification. This feels like I wonder what they'll do. Can become oppressive when paired with certain regression perks. Can only activate once per generator. And you have more time to approach. That's an interesting point. So you have longer from when you get notified to get there. I guess that's what, 70% of 90. So 90 seconds. So you have, what, 27 seconds, assuming it doesn't get sped up? Tinkerer is a hillbilly perk. I mean, anyone can equip it. So 90 versus... So you have 20 seconds, 27 seconds to get there with new Tinkerer before you had 24. Yeah, you get 3 more seconds. Once per generator, I think is very fair. I think, like, I know, like, a Tinkerer Blight or whatever is kind of annoying, and stuff like that. Once per generator is fair. I think, they kind of experimented with that with Sadako's perk, and they're like, okay, it works once per generator. Noed, or Noed for short. This is, I wonder what the hell they're gonna do to this. Falls out of favor in high skill games. We like the way it encourages survivors to preemptively cleanse totems. I think that's, yeah, because like otherwise you don't have any reason to a lot of the time. We'll now see the Hex Totem's aura within 4 meters upon activation. It increases to 24 meters over the course of 30 seconds. Interesting. I think that's pretty good, and again, like, this is the type of change that matters more, only really matters a lot at, like, lower skill levels. It's like, more experienced people will know where totems spawn. I guess it'll let you zero in on it pretty quickly if you know where to look still. I think this is fine. Like, a lot of people really don't enjoy this perk, and I think it's okay. It's okay if it's not great, like, and I think it's still pretty effective. Like, it's really it's like a surprise attack mostly anyway. And you don't even get notified, so I guess, would you see this aura before you down someone? I'm not sure. Pain Resonance, it's really good. It was cool to have a good perk come out, but it is very good. Removing the loud noise. Okay. So, okay. So you still get the damage. You just don't know automatically what generator exploded. That seems kind of fair. It's a very strong perk. Yeah, I don't know. This seems okay. Like, the damage is a lot, so I don't think it's gonna hurt to not know where that is. They're not every perk is here. Maybe they have a different section. But they have non-meta perk changes. What's your name? What a banger. Dead Hard. Everyone loves Dead Hard, right? And the right hand acts like a third health state. Yeah, basically. Dodge a hit and go for distance. Now, which one are they picking? Will provide endurance for 1 second when activated. Oh! I'm not gonna play Dead by Daylight because I have to go back to work. Maybe later today. Maybe like after work at 5 o'clock. But this is like my lunch hour, so... Probably later today I'll be in the mood to play, but this isn't like actually in the game yet, so... This won't be when I play anyway. This is coming like next week to the test client. So you can only dodge a hit. And even then, I guess will you still get deep wound? Does endurance give you deep wound all the time? So basically you need to get hit. Like, and it's probably gonna be a lot more interesting to try and bait it out. People will have to, there will be a lot of, like, you'll probably be able to fake a swing and then just have them burn it. I wonder if you'll be able to tell. I guess you'll see the animation, right? Decisive Strike. What are they gonna do? You expect it to drop in usage slightly. I think it's a good perk for the most part. Avoidable. At the end of, yes, at the end of the match is the only time I've ever minded this perk, really. Okay. We'll now deactivate when the exit gates are powered. Stun duration is down by 2 seconds? 3 seconds. Okay. That is a long stun. Like, it doesn't need to be that long. I think this is a really good change. It really feels bad when you've had a rough game and then like the gates are open. Also, people are gonna continue to 99% gates, and that's gonna be even more important actually. That's your solution to that. So it's still gonna be annoying. But if you hook someone after they open it, it'll still be good. Or you could open it. You could always open the gate yourself, actually. You could have someone hooked next to the gate and then open it and then be like, haha, get wrecked. Something like that. That's interesting. For a time, I assume they're just making it shorter. I don't know. Okay, so what was the time? 12 seconds by default at the high level. So extend it by 10 seconds. Whoa. That's 15 seconds of bonus speed and endurance. You're gonna have to learn to count to more than 12. What the heck? But again, like, not as many people will have this probably. Or maybe a lot of people will have it because that's still a long time. Who knows? But the other thing is they can nerf this again if they can nerf it if they need to now because it's everywhere. Iron Will makes your grunts of pain silent. I assume, okay, yeah, it doesn't make it silent, it just makes it a lot quieter. No longer active when exhausted, but doesn't cause exhaustion. That's interesting. That's interesting. I wonder if that will be added to more perks in the future. Or other things. Self-care. Usage peaks in the highest skill matches. See, that sounds pretty counterintuitive, but yeah, interesting. Heal speed is lower, and it doesn't get you more out of a med kit. That's probably, I don't know, I never really used this one very much, but if it's getting used at high skill levels, this is probably a good change. I hope this doesn't work against stealth killers. I'm not read it yet, but vault speed increase. Oh yeah, I wonder if they're getting rid of that. Now only activate if kill has a clear line of sight. This is good because the counter to this stupid perk is to like walk backwards or like walk looking sideways. It's just silly. It's just, I don't know, it's just one of those things that doesn't feel good to counter, and it feels weird and awkward to counter, and it's like, why such a weird thing to make the player do? Has a lingering effect. Okay. I mean, that's fine. If it's harder to like activate in the first place. Vault speed bonus is gone. Get destroyed. I think this is the type of perk that like I never really like consciously noticed, but not often. But it has probably a huge effect, and you might not notice that all the time. Non-meta perk changes. This is very exciting too. Want those bad perks to be better. I don't know what overcharge does. I should like open up the killer perks thing. Because this is a doctor perk that I don't have. Damaging a generator overcharges it. You get a difficult skill check. Failing the skill check results in more progression loss. Succeeding doesn't give you any progression. Okay. Cause a kick generator's regression speed to grow from 100 to 400% over the course of 30 seconds. Ooh. That is cool. I wonder if it's gonna have a unique visual effect. I feel like it should. Because otherwise, how will you know, right? I don't, maybe it already does. Like I said, I haven't used this perk. That's really cool. I think this makes it a really interesting perk. Eruption. I always liked Eruption. Really, it's gonna get better with the changes to kicks anyway. You get 10% now. So just for, you know, you have to kick the generator and then you have to down someone. And when you down someone, all the generators you kicked explode. And then incapacitated. I think that. So like people can't. Incapacitated is what? People can't do actions after they explode after they're on a generator that explodes. So that's pretty good. I always like this perk. I'm going to like it more. I think it's already more useful with the way kicks work and they're faster and everything. So that's pretty cool. A lot of new builds might be possible because kicking generators is more useful. Knockout. This always is a weird one. Will cause them to crawl slower and reduce their recovery speed. So, okay, slugging, as people like to call it, is this is a good perk for that, I guess. Maybe you combine this with Deerstalker and you just try and down everyone. Interesting. It does more of what it does, like, really. Now this is an interesting perk because this was like terrible. It's just like healing is slow in the terror radius or whatever. Now skill checks are 50% faster, so it's a lot harder to hit a skill check. You could probably, if that applies to generators too, you could probably have some interesting things. I wonder if this works on Decisive Strike. Could you fuck over people who are trying to Decisive Strike by having this perk? That would be really hilarious. This might work its way into some builds, I don't know. Dark Devotion. Now activate whenever the obsession loses a health state. So when you hit the obsession, you give them a terror radius and you become undetectable for 30 seconds. So if you're Huntress and you axe someone or your nemesis, this just makes it more usable. It'll be potentially pretty good against for a lot of killers that have like good secondary attacks. It might be good for Trapper. Because like if your trap damages someone, you can just you're just undetectable now, and you could be somewhere else entirely. That's interesting. I feel like I would want to try this on Trapper. I don't know if you need an add-on to do that. I forgot. I think you might. Jolt is cool. They removed the cooldown. Okay. I think that's good. I think it was already a pretty close to good perk. For anyone who uses like regular attacks, and now no cooldown. You know, if people get really aggressive, it's pretty good. Lethal Pursuer. I was really worried when I saw this perk, but I didn't think they were gonna nerf it. I always like this perk. You get to see everyone at the start of the game for like 7 seconds or something. Will extend the duration of all aura effects by 2 seconds. That's interesting. I don't know. I guess it just combos with other perks and maybe, I guess, some add-ons and stuff. This could allow for some funky builds. Pretty cool stuff. Gift of Pain. Action speed penalty. Okay. So when they're unhooked, takes them longer to heal, basically. And when they get healed, their healing and repairing gets nerfed by a ton now. What the heck? You kind of like want to be injured. Almost. I don't know. It's interesting. They're buffing Thanatophobia? 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 I think it's Thanatophobia. Interesting. This is, was this non-meta? I always thought it was, like, pretty meta. Maybe it's just killer dependent. I don't know. This feels like it will be really annoying on some killers. Monster Shine. Long have we waited, now we debated. This perk is bad. Convert all basement hooks to Scourge hooks. Okay. So you kind of want a Scourge hook perk to make this make sense. Scourge hooks... Okay, so it buffs your regular Scourge hooks too. I feel like... I don't know if this does, but I feel like this should also give you Scourge hooks even if you don't have another perk. So that you can benefit from this. I don't think you'd ever equip this by itself, but like it should give you Scourge hooks, right? Maybe it does. It doesn't... It's not super clear. Calm Spirit can now open chests and cleanse and bless totems silently, but slower. I don't know how often you would rather do it slower than louder. Maybe if you're cleansing a hex. But whatever, it's a stealth perk, it's more stealthy. Makes sense. Saboteur lets you identify Scourge hooks. Now this is going to become a popular perk. I think this was like you can... Oh shit. You can like sabotage without having a toolbox. So this will make it a lot more useful. You could do some funky sabotage builds and counter Scourge hooks. This will be pretty popular, I think, because Scourge hooks are pretty popular killer perks. And they just buffed one. They just buffed two, really. Botany knowledge increases healing speed efficiency. I feel like this kind of counters the self-care bonus, maybe? I don't know, whatever. It's better. Off the record, you get endurance after you're unhooked? For a really fucking long time. What did it do before? No auras and you're silent, basically. Okay, so basically, this is gonna be maybe annoying. Because I feel like you're gonna... It's only gonna be annoying because you might, like, find them again and then, like, hit them and then, like, oh, whoops, they have off the record and they just haven't been doing anything for 30 seconds. Obviously, if you, like, decide to chase them... I wonder. This might be a perk that a lot of people use, but also I feel like people will use it in a way that is counterproductive to the team too, because they'll just be doing nothing if they want to. You can maybe use this to like do some saves or something, take like protection hits. Of course, you have to be unhooked to begin with. Would it work with Deliverance? How does I don't know how Deliverance works really, but Lucky Break. Recharge Lucky Break. Every second you spent healing a survivor increases the duration by a second. Interesting. What does Lucky Break do? Okay, when you get injured, you leave no scratch marks and blood. Okay, so if you use it, you can heal someone to get it back a bit. Will be nice with some healing perks. I think a lot of these changes maybe don't necessarily make the perk by itself incredible, but like you could probably have some loadouts that like really take advantage of that. Like if you have this, any healing perk with this will be really cool. Pharmacy. Or hide in a far off corner like a medkit goblin. Pharmacy will activate whenever you're injured, guaranteeing an emergency medkit whenever you search a chest. This can happen multiple times in one trial. Good luck stealing my medkit now, Meg. Interesting. I've never used this perk, but you know, it's better at doing what it does. Soul Survivor is I think it's not a very good perk right now from what I remember. It relies on your teammates being dead. Damn, if you're the last, it still relies on your teammates being dead, which is kind of surprising. But I mean, hey, that's what it's about, right? That's the identity. It might not be good, but it's fine to have niche perks too. As long as they're like good in their little niche. This one buffs you by a ton if you're the last person left. That's interesting. Like, generator repair speed by 75%? I don't know what the repair speed bonuses are usually like, but that seems like a lot. Yeah, I don't know. I guess if I look up, like, toolbox, how much does a toolbox give you? 50%? This is 25% more than a toolbox. A yellow toolbox, I don't know if that matters. It's a lot. What's this song? Oh, it's... okay. Distortion. Okay, this is kind of what I thought they might do. You can get tokens back every 30 seconds within the killer's turret radius. So you could be hiding, or you could be... which is probably what you would be doing. Or you could be running, I guess, even. Or they could have a massive turret radius. Yeah, I mean, distortion, you run out, like, right? So I think it's good to have a way to get it back. You might not get it back every time, but it's good. Shout out to my boy Jeff. Scratch marks are more sporadic, making you harder to track. Will fade even faster than they do now. Did they reverse the way they list numbers? Usually level 3 was over here, but here it's like level 3 is here. On the left side. Anyway. Deja Vu helps survivors power the 3 closest generators. Oh, this is a good perk. So you can see the 3 closest gens every once in a while or whatever. I forget when it activates exactly. I think it maybe when let's just find out. At the start and every time a generator is completed, or if you have a map, maybe. This is kind of an anti 3-gen perk now. 3-gen is, you know, a lot of killers will try and get the last couple generators when you only need to power one more altogether. So it's kind of a counter 3-gen perk. I don't think it'll be super popular, but it's better now, that's for sure. No one left behind. Grants a movement speed bonus. Isn't this what Guardian did? Oh, right. This is at the end of the game. Guardian does do this, though. Can you just make someone really fast when you unhook them? Activates when the gates are powered rather than opened. That makes it pretty useful. Again, really strong for 99%ing gates. When a generator is powered, Dark Sense activates. The next time the killer comes near you, their aura is revealed. Okay, that's a pretty different perk now. Because before it was just like you just saw them wherever they are when a generator went off. Which could be useful or it could be not useful. It kind of just depended. Now it's like always going to be valuable. Basically, because you know, like, okay, I've got Dark Sense active. Gen rushing perk, question mark, maybe? Tenacity, I don't know, that was like, you can move and recover at the same time, right? And you crawl faster. Reduces your grunts of pain by 70. Oh man. Sometimes people drop and then I leave them. I don't do it very often, but then like, then I can't find them. It's gonna happen more. But if they crawl faster, it's kind of obvious. Hope is like, oh, it just lasts forever because, yep, the gates have to be open, right? Oh no, they have to be powered. Feel like a lot of people are gonna be running Hope. Imagine just having 7% haste for as soon as the generators are all on, forever. Considering how long that state of the game can last sometimes. It's mostly for people who are saving people, I guess. I don't know, it's probably fine, but maybe it'll be really strong. I feel like I'd rather prefer a really long duration over indefinite, but we'll see. I mean, hey, I guess really long duration is still endgame collapse, but bonus doubles if you cleanse a hex totem. Okay, so it's pretty much the same perk, but it has additional hex bonus. No blood points. They better have. Okay, I think this perk is not going to be very useful without blood points. Like, I don't think it's a very, like, barbecue and chili has a good effect, but this just makes you pick up survivors faster, and I feel like a lot of people aren't going to use it very much anymore. I think like blood points were a lot bigger chunk of the reason why people used it compared to the other perk. Well, that's it. Yeah, how does everyone feel about this? I'm gonna post this on YouTube, so you know, feel free to tell me your thoughts. I'm looking forward to seeing all these things in action. Was this all the perks, or did they leave some out of this list? I'm not sure.